Howdy y'all, welcome back to Live Young Diecast. I'm Baines, and this is episode 2 of the Deep Eddy Raceway Build Journal series. I'm just gonna do a landscape piece, top to bottom today. This one here, this example, is for a kind of a lower banked 90-degree turn. And however, I'll be doing a bigger version of that piece to go around the outside of a 135-degree turn that will end up the final turn on the Deep Eddy Raceway. So this technique is pretty quick and easy. Researched this a couple years ago, been using it ever since, and just wanted to share it with everyone, so hopefully it comes in handy for you. That's it, let's get into it.
Now, the sky is the limit with what you can do with this technique. So you can go as far as to do something like a building. Now this is a wooden box with little windows and a ramp inside. It was a kid's toy that I salvaged, and as you can see here, it kind of wound up being functional, which is pretty fun. But you can do buildings, and as well as kind of your mountainside landscape pieces, as we're going to do here.
I've taped this cardboard in place up against the back wall of the track. Taped the corners to hold its shape. I'm on top of a piece of wood. You could use foam board or cardboard or anything like that. All right, so I've got my tight foam. I've already shaken it up really good, got my nozzle on. Very important that this is applied completely upside down. So, all right, let's get this stuff in here. Let's do it.
My application here is sort of side to side and from entrance to exit, and a bit random. I think that helps with the look.
To get more of it toward the middle, so it's sort of a low rise to a high and down, similar to the shape of the turn. It looks like it's carved into the landscape. So right inside here, the foam is kind of topping off around here, and it's gonna expand. It's probably gonna fill the whole thing up. You let it cure. It's pretty mild temps today, about 60. If you get into the high temps, 90s, 100, like in Texas when I did some of these others. For example, these, it took them a week to cure, whereas the last one I just did in the box with that little building, a little VIP building with the windows, I just did that in the box and filled this space. It cured very, very quickly. I mean, pretty much in a day. So that was great, and I did that when it was rather chilly out. So that is a good thing to take note of, is the temperature at which this is left to cure within, because it has a great effect on that.
All right, well, this cured overnight, and it did really good. It's just solid all the way, top to bottom, in and out, because it was nice and cold. So that really helps with this. And the cardboard comes off easy. You see a little residue here, but it's all going to be covered with the joint compound and paint, etc. So don't worry about that stuff. You get the biggest bread knife, serrated bread knife you can, and just shave it right off of the base. It's pretty easy. This stuff cuts really nice.
I'm going to carve this up a little bit, just so it doesn't look bubbly. But you could go as far as you wanted. You could even shave this off nice and flat, put a little bleacher set up there. It'd be pretty cool. So I'm going to keep my track piece handy so I can kind of keep track of what I've carved off and how that looks with the track. So just keep it close. I can check on it. like this, and I'm gonna do the drywall compound on it. And I've got this stirred up. You can use spackling paste, all purpose. This stuff, the Drydex, the joint compound, not the brand, but the joint compound, is what was recommended when I was digging this up. So spatula, and just put it on wherever you want. You know, just get it on there. Okay, my joint compound has dried, right? It went on pink, dried white. I just let it dry overnight. And I've got a measure bucket, 2 ounces of gray paint, acrylic gray, pick any gray you want. And 2 ounces of water, so 50-50, made a wash. I've got this little kids, Crayola round brush, cut the bristles so it's short and firm. And then just a regular brush. And I'm gonna put this on over the whole thing, and it'll go pretty quick. Just do it pretty sloppy. Any of this white that shows through, totally gonna be natural. So you cover this to the degree that you see fit and it looks right to you. All right, my gray layer is dry. This is looking great, and I'm onto my earth tone brown. Going to mix that with water, 50-50, get my wash. And again, this round dab brush is really good for these little bitty areas here where you need to kind of sink it in, or you just want to play with the texture a little bit. So that's what that's good for. And now we'll do this brown layer. I'm gonna just focus on the top mainly, and move on to the Scenic Turf Earth Blend. And this is a coarse turf, which I think will look good. If it'll stick, we'll see. And that'll be it. We're gonna put this brown layer on and get our turf on while it is still wet.
So because we have a wash paint 50-50 mix of paint and water, the whole idea is to not put this on thick. Put it on quick, put it on real light and thin, and let that gray paint come through underneath that's on top of the joint compound. Really gonna help with the look.
The round little dabber brush is really good for sort of punching in here and sort of bringing out the gray or the white. You can really just sort of punch away the layer, like thin it out. And it depends on how thick the area was, but this spot down here, sort of I see that white and gray coming through. I'll punch at it. Some areas aren't going to do that as much because it depends on kind of how much I got on it. But also the texture is really great to just dab at this. Kind of the more you do it throughout, the better. It makes it really look good, I think. All right, this is nice and wet, and we're gonna do the earth blend, and we're gonna do the coarse turf. And see what we get.
Now this earth blend stuff I'm putting on first has a bit of a beige in it, some green, and it's kind of multi-toned. And you can also mix up your own to get that look you want for this layer. Absolutely, sky's the limit. And there really isn't much right or wrong with those tones. Just run with what looks good to you. So shake it on and let it stick.
We'll see what sticks when it dries, and add some more. It's totally fine. You do have an issue of your track being You'll butt up in here real tight, and the vibration of cars coming through and shifting all this stuff off. See all that scenic we lost? That goes on your track if you're not careful. However, the Crash Racers track has a nice little lip right here. Okay, so this is in here. This wall is really great at sort of keeping this stuff off the track. Glad how it turned out. I hope you like it. And yeah, that's it. We're done. Just gonna let this dry. And it can go on the track. And there we are. Looks pretty good. Looks really good, I think. I like it. Done deal. Now I'll say one last thing before we sign off here. If you build a piece like this and it's not for a turn, say it's a different shape or whatever, and this mess here where it was cut off of the surface where the mold was made, if you don't want that, all you have to do is put together some sort of mixture of kind of coarse ballast, you know, rock and scenic turf with, you know, little grassy bushes and stuff. All that stuff, just mix it all up real good and dump it in at this edge where it meets your landscape piece. And it will look great. All right, y'all, well, that's it for the build on our landscape piece. It's gonna look great on the track. Please let me know in the comments if you have ideas for how to improve it, or just questions about maybe something I left out or part of the process. Any of it is welcome. Love to hear your feedback. So next week I'll come to you with tuning the next segment of the Deep Eddy Raceway, and should be pretty exciting. Looking forward to the progress here. Thanks for watching, and y'all remember, live young, Diecast.